Doom, 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 doom. And we are live. And we're dragging ass because this is one of those long day launch parties. And Preston, I'm gonna out you right now, man. He told everybody Central Time.
I did. I totally fucked up. I don't know if I can take responsibility for fucking up the schedule. Like, it's just it just didn't work out. That's all I have to say. Like, it's fate.
Yeah, but, we should just like everybody should just operate on Eastern Time because we just call it Comic Gate time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then that way everybody's talking about the same hour. We all know that it's Eastern, and then everybody who's not Eastern just adjusts their hours.
That's more difficult.
Well, I got to do it because I'm West Coast, right? So like everything that operates, like say New York does, you know what I mean, operates on Eastern Time, right? Mm-hmm. So I always have to do that 3-hour math. It gets more confusing when people come at me with Mountain Time and Central Time.
Oh God, Eastern dude! Time. Yeah, I'm like, my head explodes.
It's just it's Mountain. I add 1 hour. Central. I add 2. Eastern 3 hours, or reverse subtract. It's annoying as hell. It really is. Everybody, we should. It's kind of. We should all have the same time. You know what I mean? And then just like our lives are adjusted by light, but it's this human psychology thing. It's like now because even though we're like educated enough and intelligent enough to manage it. The people still respond to the typical hour, 8 to 5 days, 6 to 10 light schedule, or 6 to 8 light schedule, so it's so like if we all operated on where like England is the actual zero marker of our time zones, if we all kept their exact hours across it would be weird. Even
some of us would have vampire hours.
A lot of us would be on completely different hours. Yeah. But we would just operate in our regular like we do now. It's just our clock would be different.
Yeah.
Oops. In a way, it's kind of like time traveling.
A little bit, except you don't get younger.
Right.
You stay old the whole time.
You have to drive. You have to go really, really, really fast to
really fast.
Actually. Really,
I think it's the closer you get to the speed of light, the more time slows down, or something like that. So,
well, actually, they say the closer you get to speed of light, I don't know if time slows down or not. I mean, technically, time would stop. I mean, because if because we measure based on that. So
yeah.
Hey, we got Vinny in the chat. Vinny, you want to come on the show, man? We'll send you a link. You just
already sent it to him. I sent it to him.
So he sent you a link, man. Come on in. Crystal, if you want to come on, you're also welcome. I will send you a link. You can use it or not use it.
I think Vinny's snubbing us. Like he's like, I'm too good for you guys. Like punk ass bitches.
Not like he could hear you or anything.
Vinny's like only going on good artist channels. This way.
Oh yeah, but wait, that's my channel you're talking about now, bitch.
Vinny's got to use the bathroom. That's what I'm saying.
Make sure you shake, brother. Make sure you shake.
Twice, only twice. Don't go fast.
Yeah, but they say you shake more than twice, you're playing with yourself.
Absolutely. So usually I do it maybe 10, 15 times.
To make sure you're actually playing with yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
So Vinny will be here in a few minutes.
You want to make sure you have a happy ending after you use the bathroom.
You know what, like like the bathroom attendants, that we could change that whole world. You bring in like the 5'7" busty blonde fit model masseuse looking chick. She's all like, 1 tap or 2.
You need a Kleenex, some lube, whatever.
20 taps, please. All right, we're making dick jokes now. We're just getting low
Absolutely.
class.
The So the response to Road Trip has been extremely good, dude. Like extremely good. Like it's only been up for less. It's not even. It hasn't even been up for 24 hours, and we're at 28%. So that's really good. Well, actually, it has. It's at 29 days now. So I guess it has been up for more than 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you're like at what here? You're
Well,
at
that's impossible. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I launched that at on Mandy's stream, and that was last night. That was at 9 o'clock last night. So it'd be 9 o'clock now,
yeah. You
what
should have
which would
you
be
should have
counted as 24 hours. You
you should
know.
have gave a countdown to when you were going to launch it, so that we could have had a tighter race to first place. I got third place, man. I got third place.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. Did you get what tier did you get when you went ahead and did that?
I just got the book, $15 one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Make
that's
sure I
usually
put a
that's
little
usually
doodle in
where
there for you.
that's usually always where I back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the other tiers and stuff, but if I like, went after, the the higher tiers with most people's books, the variant covers and all that kind of stuff, then I couldn't afford to back.
No. You're absolutely right, and I'm the same way because I mean, dude, I'm a working artist. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my financial situation depends. Like it's always in
Yeah.
flux. You
If
know?
I didn't spend all my savings and have so much credit tied up in my actual book, you know what I mean, I would
Yeah.
also be able to afford more,
Yeah.
but eventually that's all going to come back to me. That's something that I mean, it's coming back slowly, you know what I mean? And,
Well,
so
with Rockabilly Road Trip, like the first issue, like the 22-page issue, I wanted to make sure that was way under $20. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
I didn't want to like offer a 22-page full color, like $20 book. Like it just didn't seem right to me. You know, like if I was up at 48 or 52 pages, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But
No,
at
I agree with you. You see, I am not a well-known Comicsgate artist with a huge following that can get away
yeah,
with selling a book for $25 and slapping $10 shipping on it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So, I mean, maybe I could sell a few books like that,
hmm
but I highly don't think that I would be able to selling a lot of books like that. And I'm not,
no,
and
yeah,
and I don't believe in the practice. I mean, personal practice for me personally of pre-funding a book and then living on the funds while I'm creating the book. You know what I mean? It's just because I things can go wrong. You know what I mean? And
oh yeah, they
so
can.
so the reason why everything I'm doing, I'm actually gonna like work it to where I have the project at least done
Well, Captain Love
with
was done, wasn't it? Like that was
yes,
completely
completely.
finished, right?
Right. And chapter one is completely done. All the artwork and colors are done.
Yeah,
I'm actually just finishing up the lettering now. And so when that launches, chapter one will be done.
yeah,
And then so like when I launch chapter two, it will be done. When I launch chapter
yeah.
three, it will be done. I won't like launch it to finish it. Kind of like I that truly is the crowdfunding model though. I mean, I
Well,
understand why
no,
people do that. It's
what
just
they
it's
were
just for
talking
me
about,
personally.
yeah, like last night, and they made some good points. Like when you your first campaign, you're going to double your numbers on every campaign. So your second campaign is going to be twice as good as your first campaign. Your third campaign is going to be twice as good as your second campaign, and it kind
Well,
of makes sense if you think about it because you've shown that you can deliver. You've shown that you produce a good product, and plus, if you can leave it on a cliffhanger, they want to see what's going to happen next. Yeah,
yeah. Well, the truth to that is yet to be seen as far as everybody, because
yeah,
most of us are still on our first campaign or getting our first campaign out, and not everybody's first campaign is like their second campaign. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's you know there's a lot of elements to this game with have knowing your audience, building an audience, having loyal and devotion fans, finding new people, reaching new people, getting into new people's heads. I mean, it is an overwhelming challenge. I mean, the thing is like it's really, the trick is to have an audience of your own, because then you don't need anybody's help. However, very few of us in Comicsgate have an audience big enough to where we don't need anybody else's help. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, very few of us, and so it's you got to think about how to build it from scratch. You know what I mean? And so what I mean, like obviously, I that's what I did. I put everything into the book, made sure the book was done. You know what I mean? And then I started my crowdfunding campaign, and the crowdfunding was for the printing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like pre-orders, you know. So the crowdfunding is for the printing, and then I make enough to where I overprint, so then I can keep it as an ongoing thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, I mean, because like when I run out of these first prints, that campaign, you know what I mean, with for the first print, that'll be gone. I will basically shut that campaign down when, and then like say like the variants are going to go out first. Probably I'm probably going to
Hmm.
run out of the variants first, you know. And then so I'm just going to take all the tiers that have variants. I will just pull them away.
Yeah.
I mean, and then when the you know like the tiers, if I you know, I can always do more trading cards, but
Hmm.
I'm thinking that I probably won't do any more of these trading cards. You know, I'll probably only do the like because I'm gonna do trading cards with my future campaigns. I actually
Hmm.
have a. We're not talking about mine right now. That's why I'm not getting into detail. We're talking about Rockabilly.
No,
Actually,
no, no. I
we're,
was, you know, I
we're
mean,
just
everybody has their
shooting the
own
shit.
theories,
Yeah.
their own formulas on producing a good campaign. You know,
We're all still figuring it out. That's the thing.
yeah,
It's like for Malin, he was all like keep it super simple and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine if people already know who you are. If you got a
yeah.
following, yeah,
You
you know what I
you're
mean.
right. And I honestly though, I don't want to. Like we were thinking about getting keychains for a Rockabilly Road Trip, and then I was like, I think that's maybe too gimmicky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe as an extended goal, but if I do that, I don't want to get a cheap little.
Here,
You know, I
here,
want it to be like
here's
awesome. Yeah,
yeah. Here's where my advice would be because this is technically not your first campaign because you've had, but this would,
yeah,
you've got 2,500 as your fixed goal. You're gonna reach that in the
yeah.
60 days. Okay, so
Well,
this
that was one of the lessons that I learned from the first campaign.
right. So based on that logic, okay, you're definitely, this book is getting done. Okay, so this
Yeah.
one's gonna get funded. All right, so this one's going out. So this will be your first successful campaign. All right.
Uh huh.
Uh, Now people will learn to trust you and love you and that kind of stuff. When this campaign goes, they're gonna get to know you real well. Um, no worries, Vinny. He's got to
Yeah, you
run
good,
out
dude.
for a bit.
It's fine. It's got a
Uh,
date or something like
he's got a hot date. You know what I mean? So the whatever works for Malin is a lot of what he has to say is true. I mean, you
that.
know what I mean? It's if you put too like the thing is about putting too much text before the main images and that kind of stuff. That's all really good advice, you know. But the some of the things like he was going on about like you actually had the he doesn't know that you actually tried to make a movie of Rockabilly Road Trip before you know
Yeah,
before
everybody's
this.
against that. We tried to make we were trying to just cross it over into a different medium because we had the means to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's,
and
yeah, there is nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
That is nothing wrong with that.
because to be honest, at first I want to
Yeah.
do like just a cartoon, you know, like a Rockabilly Road Trip cartoon and submit it to Adult Swim, and because I thought it'd be cool, you know, and then everybody was like, I don't want to do cartoons. I want to do like live action. If we're going to spend $10,000, let's spend $10,000 on live action, you know?
Right.
And and to be honest, $10,000 is low to do a live action trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I know guys that do full length features for $10,000. So,
yeah,
but they're low budget. I mean, they
yeah.
look low budget. So, but
Well, what
what you
we
guys did,
just pulled, we got a like talent knows talent. You know what I'm saying? So it was like we and me and my partner on the book, we know how to hustle. So, you know, we traded what we needed to trade. We gave away what we needed to give away to go ahead and do to get the people that we wanted and the type of cameras that we wanted to shoot it with. And,
right?
you know, I
That's
mean,
the
the
most
people that
expensive part. Camera rental is the
yeah.
most expensive part.
Well, no, if you know somebody who already owns a Red
Yes,
Dragon camera, then it's
yes, that is the truth right Then you just got to cut the deal to convince them, right?
Yeah, and that was actually the easy part. Now talent we had to pay, like the actors and stuff like that, and that was cool. So it was, I say we, honestly, I never paid anything. Like my partner paid
Ah,
for
well, there you go.
it. I did some of the props, like the costuming for the chick and stuff like that. Like I told you, I do steampunk stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? There's one of these days. You and me are gonna have to like work on a project when we both have like free time and the right project in line for us, man. Because you're really into steampunk and a lot of the stuff and that I'm into also, and I think it would be fun to because I mean I have, dude, I don't know if we've talked about stuff too much, and we don't do it online. We can do it offline, but I have a like in my phone in the notes area. There's at least 30 different project ideas.
Yeah.
Some of them are very developed, some of them are loosely developed, you know what I mean? And these are all things I want to do eventually in one medium or another, um, but yeah, I mean, so it's like but I know you're swamped right now because everybody's now discovered your skill set, so they're all like trying to like
Actually, I'm swamped because it's all the projects I want to do. Like, I only got one real project I'm working on for somebody else, and that's Micah. So, but right now between Doc Salem and Rockabilly Road Trip, like I'm working on those like for myself. I'm not really nobody should really contact me to do stuff, and I'm totally open to doing like a cover, alternate covers, whatever people want, but nobody's hit me up for any of that, or even like commissions. If anybody wanted a commission, I'd be down to do it. But no, I mean, it's really weird. I don't know. I don't like, I need to talk to some of the other Comic Skate artists and see if they running into the same problem, or is it because I'm maybe too new or something like that? I don't know.
What, because you're not getting enough offers?
Yeah, I'm not getting any offers, to be honest, except
really.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I got a couple from Mike Murphy and one of the other guys, but like the problem is that I'm scared to commit to something that big right now. Like I'm good with doing an alternate cover or something like that, but to commit to a 120 page or 50 page book, that's completely different.
Yeah.
Because then you're on a time scale, you have to get that shit done, and it's got to be done right. And I obsess over that kind of crap. So it's
there's pros and cons to all of that, but the thing that I like about like the next, like pretty much most of my future projects, even though I have a really good team right now that I'm working with, as far as an illustrator and colorist, I'm probably gonna stick to like trying to find within the Comic Skate community like my future project people if I can, for two reasons. One, I mean, it's keeping it all in the community, but the second is that there's more bodies to promote with.
Yeah, well, that's something I got a project in mind. I don't want to talk about. I'll talk to you about it
offline.
But
right?
it's I found one of the colorists in the Comic Skate community, and he's really good. Like he he took my Cyberfrog sketch and he colored it, and he did an amazing job, dude. Like there's no need to do inks anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that saves a ton of time, because if I ain't got to ink the stuff, like I can knock out pages like it's gone out of style. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 2-3 pages a day.
Well, that's
pencil
those right now. Those are the kinds of tricks that make productive elements better, because then you can go through stuff, get it done faster. Release things at higher numbers and at a quicker rate. Which you can get multiple projects done. In a year that way, pretty easily. Obviously.
Oh, definitely. So, like I'll be on par with Vinny at that point.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll definitely talk more about this when we get offline, because like I said, I got a buttload of projects ideas also. So and we already know that we get along. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it would be fun to work on something together, man.
Well, yeah, I got to do Gaze's channel at 6:30. So yeah, so
is he on that, or is it 7:30? Where's he at on that?
dude, this is so screwy. Hold on, wait 1 second. It's Comicsgate time. So it's Eastern, 7:30 Eastern. So it's 6:30 Central. So yeah. So we got about an
So
hour to where
yeah,
we
you
can
got
dip
like an
around.
hour then.
I got to jump over to his channel.
Right.
Order
So
my
you-
lady to get food. Need food
it
now.
gets
Yeah.
yeah, it gets confusing, right, with the difference between regular time and Comicsgate time now. Yeah, so I like calling it Comicsgate time. I think it was actually Arch City Comics Adam. You know that
Oh, that was a great show, dude. Doing that this morning. I never even knew he had a show. Like, I never even knew the guy. Like,
he's a cool dude.
I'm
You
getting to
know,
know a lot of people in this community that
that
yeah,
that is important, man, because there's a
yeah.
lot of really good people in the community, and you know it's you know, we all have different personalities, but one thing that we all have in common is we all understand integrity and loyalty. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you find out that there's a lot of people in Comicsgate that wouldn't burn anybody. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's like I don't know, you know, why that's a common. It's not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's everybody. You know what I mean? Because there are people that I don't know well enough to commit to that kind of thing. But it's
Well,
like
it's like I think we talked about it. It's like a lot of guys joined up because they were like, "Fucking yeah, we're gonna do this drama thing," and then they realized like, "Oh, you guys just want to create comics." Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. So they leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because.
You guys are boring. You just want to make comic books and shit.
Yeah, well, we throw jabs at the other side. You don't want to do that? Like that's but it's true. And then they leave and they get pissed off and they start talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes an issue. And what all that is distractions. And those distractions lead to you not getting your work done. You know? So yeah.
Wait. I'm catching up to some of these things. El Gargoyle thinks he's not attractive enough. Now, what exactly? Oh, haven't gotten offers either. I get it. We're talking about getting offers, and then yeah, that's funny. If that joke was like actually in sync from when we said it, that would have been even more funny. That's the worst thing about chat delay is, like, you know what I mean? You get the jokes back from the chat, and you're like, what the fuck is that related to? You know, it's like,
yeah.
That's funny. No, yeah, the Comicsgate community though is one I'm excited to see where that's going to go, because the opportunity for it to be like something like there's never been before is there. You know,
well,
I mean,
it's going to be another birth of an Image Comics in a way.
No, it won't be, because Image Comics was still kind of ran by like it was an actual brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it was kind of ran as a company. This is more of a philosophy of small brands. You know what I mean? It's like a community and a philosophy, and we all need each other together. Now you're going to have like high school. You're still going to have the upper
froze out, dude. You're completely frozen.
People who are more popular keep their little world. They want to have their little popular power, just like high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Still frozen?
You froze for a second. It's good, but no, I get what you're saying. But here's the thing: like the companies, like I guess the board of directors of Marvel and DC, I guess they're getting pissed because they're not making enough money, you know, and they should be. They absolutely should be, and I think that's why Quesada. Yeah. Brian Christoph.
It's a Rockabilly Road Trip, baby. How dare you guys start without me? What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, dude?
That's what she said. How dare you start without me?
I need to get one of those watches that has like 5 or 6 different time zones on them.
Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, that shit would come in crazy. But
first of all, congratulations yesterday for starting things off on Mandy's show. That went great. I thought that went spectacular.
Dude, they talked to me. They were like, dude, you're stupid. Like, Malin's going to be on that show, and they're going to bring in big numbers. And they were right. Yeah, I mean, it was like 200 views on that show or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, Mandy's a sweetheart.
Yeah, and so I contacted Mandy, and I was like, and they were like, "Well, it's too late now." I was like, "It's never too late." So, and then
Absolutely.
I was like, and Mandy's like, "Absolutely, yeah, I'll do a sketch card. We'll give it away to the first 10 backers." I was like, "Sweet, let's do it." But like I was saying about
Fantastic.
Quesada, like they threw Quesada out because they want to make money. They're not concerned about being publicly, like politically correct. You know what I'm saying? Like the board of directors run Marvel, not Quesada, and he's learning that now. You know, but eventually all this shit's going to go back to the status quo, and Comicsgate is going to be there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think what's going to happen, and is there's going to be a new distribution channel other than Diamond at some point. Direct because here's the thing, is I don't know exactly how it's going to happen because it's too soon to predict anything like that. But there's every local comic book store I speak to, you know what I mean, hates Diamond with a passion.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely.
And then and they really have issues with the fact that Diamond has a monopoly. They abuse their monopoly. You know what I mean? Sending them books that are damaged because they don't care about how they're shipped, and then they don't make good on the damaged books, and so and then they force them to buy books that probably aren't even gonna sell,
Mm-hmm.
and then and it's not like Diamond's doing any marketing other than what other people are doing in their marketing book. So Diamond's just basically, I'll take money here, I'll take money here, I'll take money here, I'll take money here, and your services are kind of minimal. Which is that's what a monopoly can do.
Well, it's also I'm sorry, Drew, I didn't mean to step on you, but it's a big factor of it also is they don't care about comics. So there's no passion for the medium.
Well, here's the deal.
No respect for it, right?
Like Diamond's actually an outdated method of getting the comics into the hands of the consumer.
Prehistoric.
Yeah, and because now we're going direct.
Well, direct works, but there's still so like most of the comics that are sold in America, like 95% or more, is still sold at your local LCS, your comic book store. You know what I mean? They're still sold there. And that, or in some kind of like if the LCSs die, I would like to see somebody like Walmart or 7-Eleven.
Because I like my dealer.
No, I hope they don't.
I got a dealer. Yeah, we trade art for comics and shit like that, like vintage comics. Yeah. Dude, you laugh if you want. I got a bunch of comics. I got a $30,000 collection because of that shit.
I'm laughing because I'm not laughing at you, Preston. I'm laughing with you.
No, I'm serious though. Like,
that's awesome.
I think those are the shops that are going to still be around. The ones that have vintage comics. The ones that are just betting on the new stuff coming out. You better start packing your bags, dude, because your shop's going to be closed.
Well, like that's exactly where I was going. So like there's local comic book shops that always try to carry the new stuff and all the new stuff, and you know what I mean, and they just try to keep it new. But then there's the other ones that go the old school method, where it's basically the good books that are hard to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they carry some new stuff because they know it's going to sell. You know what I mean? Now, but there's somebody.
That's the problem, is that the new books aren't going up in price, and they're never going to go up in price. Like I mean, I don't think any of the new books are going to be considered collectibles. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but they're never going to be as collectible as the Kirby stuff, or you know what I'm saying? No.
Or that's true about everything. The older something gets, the more collectible it is. So the oldest of things will always be the most collectible, of course.
Well, I mean, that's also because of scarcity, right?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's why when, you had the speculators in the 90s that were, I mean, I think Marvel, they were selling like 2 million copies of like the first issue of like the new X-Men or something like that. They didn't have 2 million readers. They were selling 2 million comics because you had people buying multiple copies, and then they chased away the old fans, and they didn't get any new fans, and then suddenly all the comic book speculators turned their heads and went, "Ooh, action figures," and split. And when that happened, that's when the bottom dropped out.
Yeah. Also,
Well, no, you're right, because
there's another factor to consider on that a lot of people don't talk about, because it's kind of like the dirty secret of comics, and that is the numbers that are reported are the numbers that are sold to LCSs, right?
Yeah,
A lot
you're right.
of those LCSs move those comics on the 50-cent rack later because they can't sell them. So.
Yep.
Let's talk about what's going on now. I mean, Captain Marvel, newest Captain Marvel issues they're not really being sold to the LCSs. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marvel's just stuffing them in a box. You know, you order 10, well, we're going to put 20 in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's considered sold, I guess.
Or
they're promotional items. That's the thing, is right now, Marvel Comics are promotional items for the movies and for the Funko Pop heads.
You see, but that's just the thing. Like, with the movies right now, like, Marvel Comics should be killing it.
I
DC
know.
Comics should be killing it.
I know. I know.
Stance on everything. It's retarded what they're doing.
Well, you know? I mean, this is what I really strongly feel, is that when the movies first started coming out, right? Like when Iron Man came out, and there was the Incredible Hulk, you know, and then Thor and all the stuff. As they were starting to roll these movies out, and in general, the quality of those movies was really rather good. I think they weren't going to get any new fans. They weren't going to get any new people coming.
That's not true. That's not true at all. Actually,
well, this is my theory. Okay, and I've been known to talk out my ass. So feel free to let me know if I am talking out of my ass. But what happened? What they could have done was they could have gotten the old fans back. I just think I think a lot of the old fans went to see Iron Man and were like, oh man, I used to love that comic. Maybe I should start reading comics again. They go into a comic book store, they pick up a comic book, and Iron Man is now a black teenage girl. Okay, let me pick up the Incredible Hulk. Wait a second. The Hulk's not Bruce Banner. It's like this Asian kid, Amadeus Choi. That goes back on the rack. Oh, Thor. I love me some Thor, man. Jack Kirby, Walter Simonson. Hell yeah. They pick it up. Thor's had a sex change operation?
No, you're right. But here's what I'm saying. Like, the comic industry slit their throat when they took comics out of the convenience stores and gas stations.
God, yes.
Now,
oh, God, yes.
I think they had a chance to get them back when they put them in the movies. Now, here's my theory. Mm-hmm. You're bringing your kid to go see Thor. Well, now that kid knows that Thor, it was a comic. It is a comic. And after 10 years, when that kid starts getting money, he's going to start buying comics, or even sooner. Like, he'll get his parents to go buy him some Thor comics or whatever, and get him some subscription.
If they had rolled out cheap, and that would be the important part, would be cheap reprints of the old Marvel comics and put them at supermarket checkouts. Oh my God!
No, they're doing it now. God. They're doing it now with Walmart. But the problem is that doesn't benefit the LCSs.
That's true.
Yeah, because what they're doing is they're doing exclusives that's only going to Walmart. Right. They're not going to the LCSs.
Right.
No. I think that the future is going to be a combination of things. By the way, I put up the GIF for the talking out of the ass thing.
I would like to ask you some questions. Poor Tone Loke.
But I honestly believe that there's a good chance that the retail comics will, hopefully somebody will step in and take over delivering to places like Walmart and 7-Eleven and those short stop retails, again, even though the reason why those were mostly pulled was because of the damaged product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you gotta figure they're selling a comic for $1 something when they're spending 2 cents on getting it published overseas. So damaged product isn't really, and what they do is, like, if that doesn't sell, it just gets shipped back to the distributor, and they go to the local comic shops. Right. So it wasn't like they were losing a ton of money. They were losing a little money, but they got really greedy. And they were like, let's not lose any money and just go straight to the comic shop. So, but when you do that, that means that kid who's going to the drugstore with his parents, this kid right here,
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stick around to watch his mom shop, and he goes into the toy section. He's like, "Oh my god, look at these comics, and they don't cost $5. Mom will definitely buy that for me." You know?
Yes. Yes.
See,
absolutely.
That's where they slit their throat. That's where they fucked up. You know?
Absolutely.
Because at that point, they stopped growing an audience. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, I'm old enough to have very fond memories of the spinner racks. You know, going to the mom and pop shop with you know, literally a fistful of change and walking out with a stack of comics.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And
cost fucking like $5, dude. Like for a Marvel comic, and
it's not kid friendly. Parents aren't going to pay that kind of money for.
Well, here's the deal: there's no reason why they should cost that much. I mean, alternatives proved that. Alternatives prove that you can still do newsprint. You know,
I know, and that's a wonderful thing. I think that's a wonderful thing. Remember when Marvel was putting out the collected editions? What were they called again? I have to look over at my bookshelf. Like the Essentials. The Essentials. There was like black and white reprints of old comics that were like, you know, like it
was like a digest.
Yeah, and you know, very fair price, like $15 or something like that. And now I think they're doing those in color. I think,
but here's the problem: like that's not going to be attractive to somebody. Look,
not to new people.
I had two, like I have two daughters, right? Like. And when
congratulations,
they were little, like I wasn't going to spend like a ton of money because you have to put clothes on their back, you have to feed them, you have to worry about other things, you know, school, everything else. You know, but little stuff. If they were into comics, I would definitely buy them comics because that keeps them out of my hair for 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying?
And little kids love comics.
Draw, you know, they'll sit there and they'll draw like whatever's in the book and stuff like that. I mean, it's almost like a babysitter. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
What happened is, you know, the comics market changed to a collector's market, and because it changed, to a collector's market, comic books had a different kind of value, and then if you remember. Around that same time, they started releasing collected editions, graphic novels in really high quality prints. And then, and then those were selling better than the newsprint issues, and nobody was buying the regular newsprints. They were waiting for the graphic novels. So then they started releasing the graphic novels in higher quality in the editions, higher quality to pick up those sales. However, those prices had to go up to compensate for the extra printing cost and handling. And then it became like this price gouging war, which, you know, now printing costs a lot unless you can print an obscene amount. So and then the reason why they charge more is because they print less. You know what I mean? Like for instance, Image is one of the guilty parties, by the way, of spiking.
Image, absolutely. Yeah, because I think Spawn and Youngblood and all that shit wasn't printed on regular comic stock.
No, they're one of the.
Oh, that was the era. That was the era of the. I think they were prestige editions, right? So you had certain comics that were coming out that were prestige editions, like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, right? And what else? Oh, Alan Moore's The Killing Joke.
Brian?
That's what he said. Comics that were printed in prestige edition. Yeah. And that's fine, but not every comic should necessarily get the prestige edition treatment. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of like now, like every movie is 2.5 hours. Well, not every movie needs to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, when we published Road Trip back in 2006, it was expensive, dude. It was not cheap to publish a black and white comic on your own. You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds weird, but like the minimum order was 500 copies. You know what I'm saying? And it was like $2-3. I think it was $3 a piece, for each book. So you was looking at $1,500 right off the bat to go ahead and get the book. I mean, it was almost impossible to produce that book and go ahead and sell it for what Marvel's selling their full color prestige editions. Right. So it was, I mean, back then we did what we had to do to go ahead and get an issue out. That's why we only got 6 issues done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't because, but then the market changed. It changed in our favor.
Yes.
Because printing came, like digital printing and all that kind of stuff now. So it's now we can affordably do like, and then there's no minimums. So you don't have to do
25
like
copies, 10 copies, 5 copies, 1 copy.
One copy and get it for like a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? So you can put a markup on it. You can pay people to go ahead and do it, and it's now in our favor to do stuff like that. Yeah,
absolutely. It all has to do with the technology. It's the same way that now you've got filmmakers who are making movies on their freaking phones, right? So now it's like anybody can make a film, anybody can make a comic book too.
Well, you can't make a film on your phone because your phone only does 4K. You know what I mean? And the quality of lens is not that great. But you can make an internet movie. You know what I mean? Which is not. But you can't.
Steven Soderbergh did it. Steven Soderbergh shot a movie on his phone.
But it would never make a big screen because you have to have 8K to your big screen.
God damn, I can't get my hat straight.
I think it did get a theatrical release, actually.
They would have to have been remastered because
I know
for a projection it has an 8K requirement. So
28 days later, that was the first movie I think that was shot on like digital camera. Right, and this is like back, I think, when digital didn't look like it wasn't cinematic quality, and it had this sort of grainy look to it, and of course that kind of added to the feeling of reality. It's the same way like when a lot of people like the rather muddy looking version of Night of the Living Dead because it just feels more real to them.
Right.
But, ready to get this thing rolling?
Hell yeah! I know we're talking. I'm sorry, we're digressing. This is about Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby.
We are going to do the live action trailer. No matter what anybody else says, I think this is the most catchy element for pushing this thing.
Hell yeah!
And the one thing Malin did say that I will back up in the stream. He said a few things that I'd back up, but one thing that I think is really good is that you really should reach out to other
Rob Zombie forums.
No.
Psychobilly. Psychobilly forums.
Psychobilly forums, and not just forums, other YouTube channels that feature horror, feature any kind of rockabilly or even music or cars or
he's absolutely
especially
right.
Especially if they do
Fangoria,
rat rods. Yeah.
Fangoria right now is being is back, and it's being I believe that the editor-in-chief is none other than Joe Bob Briggs. Joe Bob Briggs would blow his load over this.
Yeah.
Did he?
So just start reaching out like crazy. Just start reaching out like crazy. Here's the thing, man.
It's just been a busy week.
I can imagine. I hope you're enjoying yourself, though. You gotta enjoy this.
Well, let's enjoy this.
Hell yeah! Oh no!
Got a wheel to ride, I can ride by my side. A rockabilly boogie and her gliding. You wanna come on, baby? You survive the road trip, baby. Green light, yellow light, red light, go. I wasn't born with days of feel right. Then I feel my pride. Now it's middle to middle, blows my mind. It's crazy. It's Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby. So crazy. It's Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby. It's my pride. This is the country tonight. I breathe for the life of strong. There's no fear of electrified.
Rockabilly Roadtrip, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
that's quality entertainment right there, man.
Slathered in awesome sauce.
We did talk to Fangoria at some point, and Fangoria said that they were only investing they were doing $1 million movies. They weren't doing like $1 million movies.
When was this? When was this?
This was 2 years ago. No, it was. I think it was early 2019, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say. Here's what I say. Okay, you got that live action thing done. You invested in it. It's done, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
well, let me ask you a question. Both of y'all are screenwriters?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, then I need to talk to you off air because
Absolutely.
I need help with some stuff with Road Trip. It's stuff to go ahead, because here's the thing. We submitted it to 10 different production companies, and we got 5 yeses, right? But somewhere in the middle of those yeses, we got a no. You see what I'm saying? So out of 10 submissions,
they started out as yes and they changed their mind.
Exactly. And I know why. I just don't know how to get past that hump. And I think
we can talk about that.
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah.
Well, what I was going at here is that as you build this property, the fact that video exists, will help you close a deal at some point. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Somebody's gonna.
I don't see any of this as wasted time.
Yeah.
I mean, we went way too far, but is there really a such thing as too far?
Well, sometimes less is more, and sometimes more is more.
Yeah.
One thing
all of it opens doors, and it's all content.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I'm not really I'm not bugging about any of that kind of crap. Yeah.
Oh, definitely not. And I agree with some of the things that Malin said. I disagree with some of the things that he said. The main bone of contention I have to pick with him is I completely disagree. You need to rebuild the friggin' Devil Driver and get that.
Did. Yeah, no,
you already did.
Yeah, I mean it's in the process to get rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
hell yeah.
That's we got another partner on this whole thing where we gave him a part of the copyright, but he's the guy who built the original Devil Driver. You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
So it's all about the talent that and if they have enough talent, they can come to, and we're planning on using that to go ahead and launch. Well, we already have a Rockabilly Road Trip YouTube station. And what we're planning on doing is webisodes of Rockabilly Road Trip, where it's stupid shit where we antagonize the cops. We break down in the middle of a crowd. Busy.
That sounds great.
People are trying to get home, and we got Patches and Nicky out there figuring out what's wrong with this car.
Oh man! That sounds great. That's an awesome idea.
It's going to be dangerous, but whatever.
Let's speak offline a little bit, and I'll tell you about some strategies maybe you haven't thought of that are probably quicker paths to money as far as like closing a deal on that, because if you have you're already 10 steps ahead of the game on that. You know what I mean? Like I'm ahead of the game because I actually have a movie script for Captain Love already. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like if somebody's we can make a movie, but I got a script.
Same thing with Six Gun Gorilla. I got a Six Gun Gorilla script.
Right. So it's you know what I mean. It's really easy to be like a step ahead like that. And what you got with the live action trailer already is you're like, okay, yeah, we put this comic book out. People we're building up this IP. We have fans already. You know what I mean? And then now look at this. You know what I mean? And so like it's kind of like the same thing. Like for instance, Netflix bought a whole lot of properties that were based on the fact that YouTubers had followings. Yeah. Right. So they would buy a movie, and commit to licensing a movie for a while based strictly on fan base. You know what I mean? And then obviously if it performed, they'd hold on to it. And if it didn't, they didn't. There was a couple of series that were created that way. There were a couple of contracts that were inked. And then when the YouTubers couldn't deliver, Netflix cut them. But when YouTubers could deliver, they waited till the audience response was good or bad. You know what I mean? And it's, and that's just one example. There's also a bidding war. There's Hulu and Amazon, and there's
it's the Wild West right now when it comes to
streaming services.
Yeah. Like it's no longer like trying to get on television like CBS or anything like that.
Right.
Like it's all about streaming services. Yeah,
Absolutely.
HBO
Absolutely.
and Showtime and all that shit. They're obsolete now. Yeah,
They absolutely are. I mean,
HBO HBO was actually one of the first ones to have a streaming service along the same time as Netflix did. They actually had a streaming service around this. They were actually the first cable network to kick out a streaming service. You know what I mean? And I watch it quite a bit, like, because there's a lot of stuff on HBO you can't get anywhere else. You know what I mean? So
no, you're right. Absolutely.
The only ones I subscribe to are Shudder, the horror channel, and the wrestling channel. It's like I watch.
Shudder any good? Like
Shudder is excellent. Shudder is I wish they had more content, but the content that they have is good. The original content that they produce is excellent, and of course they got Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah,
and he's the man. And he'll do holiday specials, like Bloody Thanksgiving and Black Christmas and that sort of a thing. And I for what you pay for it, I would definitely recommend Shudder.
All right.
And they might be people you might also want to approach, although they really don't have that. They don't have that much money to spend.
For anybody who's interested, let's blast through these tiers real fast. The double deal, quickly. That looks like it is.
Well, let me explain Rockabilly Roadtrip real quick.
Sure. It's not self-explanatory. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
Seriously, I mean, it's just like it sells itself. But Preston, if you would like to go ahead, please.
Please.
Rockabilly Roadtrip is the story of Nicky the Pipe. Nicky can build anything. He's kind of a savant, but he's also socially retarded. So he doesn't have a lot of friends. He doesn't have a lot of love interest or anything like that. It's just him and his car. So Nicky, he's a lonely guy, so he builds himself a passenger dummy. But the passenger dummy magically comes to life. And so now we got Patches. So he brings on this whirlwind road trip to go and teach her about life and try to win her heart. And along the way, they run into different monsters, depending on their state that they're in. And so that's Rockabilly Road Trip in a nutshell. If you want, you can play the intro video, and it's that.
I would, but
really
but it drives me absolutely nuts that you didn't get your volume on your vocal track high enough, because
really?
The music drowns it out. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean it's fun. We got to play it.
Welcome to Rockabilly Road Trip. Rockabilly Road Trip is the story of Nicky the Pipe. Nicky has one special talent. He can build anything. After completing work on his hellish hot rod, which he lovingly calls his devil driver, Nicky finds that his life is still missing something. So he focuses his amazing talents on building Patches, a bombshell of a driving companion, to complement the look of his demonic hot rod. Oh, but Rockabilly Road Trip isn't anything but typical. Our heroes encounter chainsaw-wielding psychos in Texas, greaser aliens from outer space at Area 51, and a voodoo zombie infestation at a roadside stop in Louisiana are just the start of the problems our heroes run into on the road trip of a lifetime. In issue 1 of their brand new full-color series, Nicky and Patches battle a mysterious illness that is driving the women in a small Mississippi town psychotic. So come along for the cross-country love story adventure that is Rockabilly Road Trip.
That's Rockabilly Road Trip.
Now, everybody,
Awesome.
I have to let everybody know I have backed this book. I was racing for the #1 spot on this book. Peter Gilmore, Arch City Comics, Adam, and I were all three racing for the #1 spot on this book.
That is crazy, dude. I can't believe you guys are that crazy.
And I came in third place. Them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers.
I'm a broke ass bitch right now, so I just click the follow button. But as soon as I get pizzade this month, I'm definitely going to back immediately.
Yeah.
What I find really appealing about it is that you've got all this cool window dressing. You got the monsters. You got the bitchin' hot rod. You've got the psychobilly angle. But what really appeals to me is the Pygmalion angle of Nicky being lonely, socially inept, and building a girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with the Pygmalion legend, where the guy falls in love with his sculpture, and the gods take pity on him and bring his sculpture to life, and they end up getting.
Actually, didn't have. I got to check that out.
Oh, yeah. And I think what I don't have time for are comics or movies or anything that doesn't have a heart. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. It seems to me like that's kind of the heart of the story.
Well, everybody we were talking about this because we had to talk about it for the screenplay and stuff like that. And the star of the show isn't Nicky, because Nicky can't grow. You see what I'm saying?
Right. He has no arc.
The star of the show is Patches, because she's developing all along the series, and so yeah, I mean, we can get into that a little bit later.
Lovely. Lovely.
Trust me. We will be picking into your characters and character development on when you have more time to sit and shoot the shit with me and Brian, because
yeah, definitely,
because like the three of us have done a lot of streams together, and we're gonna do a shitload more streams together, and I mean, we're fucking friends, so that's how it works. What I mean?
We could do it some more on movie night or tomorrow if you guys have time or something like that.
Absolutely. We're gonna push hard. We're gonna push hard for you, brother.
Yeah, and a movie night. Remember, when you're doing movie night, don't cross with War Campaign, because you won't get audience.
That's weird, because War Campaign wasn't. I checked. War Campaign wasn't going live that night. Or they ended early or something like that?
Yes, they drop out early now and do a lot of stuff on D Live. Yes.
Okay. So it wasn't YouTube that they were doing it.
Right. I'm just saying that if you want to bring in a lot of Comicsgate audience, don't broadcast against War Campaign.
We gotta switch days.
There's nothing wrong with that. I want to start streaming. I want to start having people on my channel. I want to start putting out more videos, more content. One of the things that Malin was definitely correct about last night was his emphasis on the building a YouTube following, getting people to get to know who you are, and getting your face out there.
But at the same time, let's not overplay that, because there is an element of that we have to pay attention to, and then not everybody is capable. Okay, to build a YouTube channel, it is really hard.
It is.
Not everybody's capable of it. Plus, not everybody wants to. You know what I mean?
I didn't want to, but it gets easier as you go along. I wasn't comfortable the first time I was on a live stream. I wasn't comfortable, I think, on the first 3 or 4 live streams I was on. And, Preston finally showing us that handsome face of his. People these days consumers these days expect to have a connection or accessibility to the artist.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's one thing I guess we all have to.
Well, if we're considering we're not famous already and our reputation doesn't precede us, we need to build our reputation. And the most effective way for us to do that right now is YouTube. That is,
and making kick-ass comics.
Well, he was like Malin was right about that. Like, YouTube is the great equalizer. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a personality, you're not going to succeed on YouTube. It doesn't matter what you have behind your name.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, that's the funny thing is if you get somebody who does have a personality to support you, and they do a lot of work of supporting you, you don't necessarily need to have one. There's a lot of creators out there that did not even ever make a YouTube video or even go on a live stream, but there were people that did it for them.
Yeah.
Then there's people, there's people that don't even run their own channel and only appear on other people's channels. You know what I mean? And they're making money. You know what I mean? There's people that are doing really well. Their channel is crap. You know what I mean?
That's me. That's me for sure.
So don't get misled by by that. I mean, it's not the end all do all. However, the thing that I would say is most important, because we're not big names, is that you make friendships and build relationships within the Comicsgate community.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta network like crazy. Yeah,
because the more people you reach within the community, the more you'll do other people's shows. The more you sit around and people get to know you just from seeing you on other people's shows, you'll become a little bit name recognition in the community. Then other creators who have a larger audience will bring you in, and then to their show, especially if they've already got your book and you're in demand or something like that, and they're they bring you on their show to tell people about their book. That will change things. You know what I mean? That'll be a big, huge boost to sales, and then it's just like about doing that same thing over again. Just keep pushing, and then at some point, your own audience will build. Slowly, because you will develop a reputation, and then you'll have those loyalties, and then also you'll have the ability to go to a lot of these channels that have a lot of audience, because you've already been on their channel, you've already established a friendship with these people, a relationship with these people. And it just grows. It can't shrink. If you're making effort, it can't shrink. It could only grow.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah,
but that whole waiting till you have 2,000 to on YouTube to launch your campaign crap, that's ridiculous, because I know people who have been on YouTube for freaking 10 years and can't get 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah. No, you're right. Absolutely. No, I agree. I'm totally in agreement.
Some of the best artists out there are severe introverts, and there's no way they could ever do a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I know, and that is a shame. At the same time, let's face it, YouTube is a incredible marketing tool. So is Twitter. Twitter's totally toxic. I avoided it for the longest time, for as long as I possibly could. Yeah. But when it comes to self-promotion, it's an invaluable tool right now.
Well, I would say that Twitter is a great tool for drawing attention to something, whereas like if you have a book to sell or a product to sell, or you're trying to announce something new to a vastly audience who's never heard of you before, Twitter's really good for that, because of if you have people who will reshare your stuff, then people who've never heard of you see it and they investigate.
Absolutely. And also, it's
so easy.
For networking.
It's because it's so easy to retweet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's so easy to just one click like, and a like will get shown. So and so liked this. You know what I mean? And a retweet will get reshown. So and so retweeted this. You know what I mean? That is why Twitter works so good for that. And the same reason why Facebook does not work so good for that.
Oh boy,
it's very difficult to share something. You have to share. You can post it to a bunch of groups, or you can post it to
useless.
Your page, but
it's better if you do it on your own with Facebook, because you can't depend on Facebook to distribute it to your followers, because Facebook does that intentionally so that you will go ahead and buy a boost.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They will actively suppress your posts.
I mean, suppress.
Yeah. If they think that you're a business, they will suppress your posts.
Yeah. Yes. That's one thing I learned with my art page on Facebook.
But if they think that your post will draw more attention, they will promote it. So like if you're a hot chick wiggling her butt, you're going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
If you're doing your live stream on Facebook, also there's a good chance they will help you get attention. So that is something that I am going to transition to soon. Is I'm going to start doing live streams simultaneously on YouTube and Facebook. So get ready for that, guys. Yes, you can.
That's a cool idea.
Yes. So
check that out, dude.
Get ready. That's going to happen soon. Yeah.
Even if you don't get that many more viewers via Facebook, you have nothing to lose, right?
I can turn. No. When I dump a Facebook video, I get 1,000 views or more within like the first week. So
bitchin'.
Yeah, I have a huge following on Facebook. It's just that the way that Facebook works is counterproductive to spend a lot of time promoting.
Oh no, I have almost 3,000 people following me on Facebook. On my art page. So that's And on my personal page, I have another 1,000, maybe almost 2,000 on that.
Yeah,
I think I have about 400 on my personal page. The Six Gun Gorilla Facebook site has a little under 3,000, but it's frustrating because when I post something on there, like announcing, the latest Indiegogo campaign, it only reaches maybe, I don't know, 50 people.
Yeah. No, it's very.
But if you drop that $10 on a boost, it'll fucking find everybody. So
yeah, I'm just stubborn that way.
But the downfall is that it doesn't matter if it finds anybody, because unless you're just branding, it's not effective, because Facebook doesn't really help make it convenient for you to go and leave the website.
They really don't. I
mean, Facebook has been good whenever I ran specials, but I had to manually go in and do the work myself. I didn't boost. I went ahead and posted it in the forums myself. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but as far as I'm saying, go ahead. Sorry.
No. It's just that, like, even though I got a huge following on Facebook, for some reason they never got to see the message. These are friends of yours on Facebook that don't see your messages when you post them.
You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to shoot a message to my friend Charles. He's a guy that's very active in the psychobilly scene. And I'm going to ask him if he knows of any major psychobilly social networking hubs, websites, or anything like that. Because I mean, people that love bands like the Necromantics, they're gonna blow their loads over this.
Yeah.
You know what? Both of you guys need to we need to find each other on Facebook. If you guys are using Facebook at all, we
most definitely.
I can't believe we're not all connected on Facebook. That's
just look up my name on Facebook. All right, let's hit those tiers. Let's see that beautiful bean.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Let's see here. The tiers we got. Which freaking computer am I using for that? Let's see here. All right, so we have the double deal, which is basically what?
That's the 155 trade paperback, and also the full color, brand new first issue we just put out. So the trade is it chronicles all the issues that were produced from 2006 to 2014, and it's original black and white format. It's a perfect bound, thick ass edition.
Okay.
And it all comes signed.
That sounds like a great deal right there.
Awesome deal.
Obviously, digitals, we know what that is. I'm not a digital fan. You guys know why.
Me neither.
The real deal. No, this is the one I backed because this is the one I always back almost with everybody.
Yeah.
Not because it's 15, but because it's basically just the book.
Well, you get both books. Well, no, that's you get a physical copy of the first issue and a digital copy of the 155.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey, wait a second, Drew. What is this follow shit? I just see. It just says that I can follow you. I can't send you a friend request. That's not cool.
Wait. On my Facebook?
On Facebook, but I'm just fucking with you. Let's get back to these tiers.
What do you mean you can't send me a friend request if I hit my limit?
Maybe no. It just says that I can follow. But
you might have hit your limit. Yeah.
Happening.
At some point,
I know I was getting close to 5,000.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I don't have any problems just following you like a regular plebeian.
Well,
there. Now I'm following you. But seriously, let's get back to these tiers. This is Preston's hour. It's your moment to shine, brother. Your moment to shine.
So we on the blast from the past, we found a small stockpile of the original first issues that were produced in 2006. It's a very limited pile, and a good thing we did find it because I sold out of all of my first issues.
Is it a pile of 60?
Hell yeah!
Well, it's a little bit more than 60. It's 100, but we held back 40 issues because we wanted copies for ourselves. If it takes off, we need to have bargaining chips.
Hell yeah! So
we are offering those first issues to everybody else, and apparently a bunch of people took advantage of it. So, $100, you get the very first issue that was produced back in 2006, and you also get the brand new first issue in full color and the trade paperback. Now, the thing about the original production of Road Trip was that it wasn't just a comic; it was a music magazine. So what we had in there, we had interviews with bands. You could go to a website and download some free music that they put up so that they can get known. You know,
That's really innovative. I've never heard of anybody doing anything like that before.
yeah. Well, that was the original run. You know, I mean,
Interesting.
eventually we phased that out.
Right.
Because it became more about the comic than it was about the interviews and the bands and stuff like that. But for the first 2 or 3 issues, it was like that.
Interesting. That is really cool.
Well, that's how we met the Vulture Club, and the Vulture Club did our theme song. You know,
Kick-ass theme song.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
My
So
buddy
yeah.
Charles.
All right. So then the next one.
Art of the Deal. So it's
Are you including the Trump book with this?
actually, so I'm giving away 17 of the 22 pages that I did for this brand new issue. So you get, for $150, you get one of the pages, plus you get a physical copy of the floppy, and also you get a physical copy of the trade.
Sweet. That's very cool. And then this should cover it.
That's the cover to the trade paperback.
Everything above plus the cover to the trade paperback, the original art.
Yes. And yeah. So yeah.
Very, 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 very cool. Very cool. Now, apparently in less than 10 minutes, you're going to be over at Red Gaze channel.
Yes.
People are starting to collect over there and leave crap in his thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tweet out the link. Text out, or what do you call it? Chat out the link.
Chat out. Screen.
Chat out the link. But chat it out, and then and everybody who came to watch today, thank you very much. So go back Rockabilly Roadtrip. The link is in the description and in the chat. Seriously,
also, no. I mean, the Doc Salem pre-campaign is up too. So if you guys want to get in on that and go ahead and sign up for the pre-campaign, it doesn't mean you're backing the book. It just means that you're eligible for any specialty perks that do come up if you do back it. Because you signed up early.
Right. But don't confuse people. Make them focus on Rockabilly Roadtrip.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, back Rockabilly.
Let me ask real quick, though. When are you planning on launching the campaign for Doc Salem?
Doc Salem's pre-campaign is only going to be up for 30 days.
Okay.
So the 10th of next month, it'll be going live.
Hell yeah.
And,
all right. Well, with that said, we're going to sign off so that we can chat for a few minutes before he runs over to Red Gaze's channel. And then the link is there. They're chatting over to Red Gaze in their chat right now. So everybody, we'll see you over there. All right. Bye.
Peace.
See you.
Yeah. Wouldn't